Secrets of Captivation, 10 Steps to Make Them Crown. You welcome to Live Stoic, Live Strong. Have you ever stepped into a room and felt all eyes drawn to you? Not because of what you said, but because of something deeper, something unspoken? What if you could command respect, effortlessly, not by demanding it, but by embodying it? If you've ever longed to be seen, truly seen, for who you are and what you bring to the world, then you're exactly where you need to be. How does it feel to enter a space and instantly become the center of attention, not for your words, but simply for your presence? That quiet power, the kind that turns heads without trying. Have you ever wished people would notice you more, value you more, and give you the respect you've always deserved? If you nodded inside, you're not alone. In today's fast-paced world, so many of us walk through life feeling invisible. We give our best, yet feel unseen, as though we're living behind a glass wall, watching the world pass us by. But here's the truth. This is not your destiny, and it doesn't have to be your story. Today, we begin something different. A new path, one filled with hope, with challenge, and most importantly, with transformation. We're diving deep into the ancient, unshakable wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Not to chase attention, but to cultivate presence. A grounded, magnetic force that makes people respect you even before you speak. This video is not about gimmicks. It's about reshaping the way you carry yourself through intentional thought and purposeful action. Because when you begin to live from a place of strength and self-respect, the world starts to reflect that energy right back to you. We'll walk through 10 timeless strategies, each one tested by generations and still powerful today. They won't just shift how others perceive you, they'll transform how you see yourself. That's the real change. That's the real reward. So lean in, watch until the very end. Even if the path ahead seems steep, this journey is one worth taking. You've already taken the first step, just by being here. Now let's go further. Let's become someone unforgettable. Not just for the moment, but for a lifetime. Ready to begin? Type "I'm ready" in the comments. And let's start with strategy number 1. Strategy 1. Take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. People who don't know how to love themselves cannot truly love others. Self-care isn't selfish. It's the foundation of everything you give to the world. Caring for yourself begins with one essential trait: self-awareness. Slow down, listen inward. Understand what your body, your mind, and your soul truly need. When you grasp the depth of your own desires, both physical and emotional, you start to grow with intention, not just routine. On a physical level, self-care means more than looking good. It's about feeling good, from balanced meals to consistent movement and quality sleep. When you treat your body well, it thanks you, with energy, clarity, and a quiet confidence that others are drawn to like a magnet. Mentally, taking care of yourself means recharging your spirit. Whether it's through reading a book that speaks to your heart, sitting in stillness with your thoughts, or immersing yourself in a hobby that lights you up, you feed your inner world, and in turn, your outer world starts to bloom. And remember this, self-care is not a destination. It's a lifelong journey, one that evolves as you do. Up next, we'll explore how mastering your inner dialogue, the way you talk to yourself, can make or break the way others perceive you. Let's continue. Just as we explored in the previous section, when you begin taking care of yourself with intention, you build a solid foundation of confidence. And from that grounded place, something extraordinary begins to bloom. Your inner calm, your power to stay centered no matter what life throws at you. Strategy 2. Cultivate calmness and composure. As the wise Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This timeless truth reminds us When we invest in our inner world, when we train our thoughts, we don't just improve the quality of our lives, we quietly inspire others. We stop chasing approval and start earning deep appreciation. That's how respect is truly born, not from noise, but from presence. Let's talk about calmness. In a world where every moment pulls us in 100 directions, staying composed is no longer a luxury, it's a superpower. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Such a simple phrase, yet it holds extraordinary wisdom. In moments of stress, when tempers flare and pressure mounts, the ability to pause can change everything. Picture this. You're walking into a meeting, already running late. The room is filled with tense energy and sharp glances. Your instinct might be to snap back, to defend, to match their tone. But what if, just for a moment, you breathed, held silence, let stillness speak first? That moment of restraint becomes a moment of power. Your calm disarms the tension. Your silence commands more than noise ever could. And it doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, even ancient scriptures echo this wisdom. The phrase, "Be still and know that I am God," reveals the spiritual strength hidden in stillness. Silence, in this sense, is not weakness. It is inner mastery. It is humility paired with strength, a deep kind of wisdom that doesn't need to shout to be heard. When we nurture composure, we're not just improving our emotional intelligence, we're embodying a noble way of living. This quiet strength earns something far more lasting than attention. It earns respect, trust, and affection. So ask yourself, can I remain calm in the chaos? Can I hold peace in the storm? Because when you do, you're not only aligning with the teachings of thousands of years, you're also becoming a lighthouse for others in a world filled with noise and reaction. We'd love to hear from you. Share your own story in the comments. How have you stayed calm when everything around you felt like it was falling apart? Your experience might inspire someone who desperately needs it. Strategy 3. Valuing your time. As we continue, let's turn our attention to something incredibly precious. Time. The truth is, once time slips through your fingers, you can never get it back. And yet, so often, we forget just how sacred it is. But what if I told you that when you begin to truly value your time, others begin to value you more? Think about it. When you're intentional with your hours, when you prioritize what matters, you begin to walk with clarity, purpose, and direction. People feel that. They notice that. They're drawn to it. Imagine a version of you who manages time like a master craftsman. Every moment is used wisely. Every task is chosen with purpose. You're not rushing, you're leading. In that reality, people won't just admire you. They'll seek you out. They'll want to be near you, to learn from you, to follow your example. And this isn't just a lofty idea. It's a natural result of applying Stoic principles to your daily life. When you respect your time, you command respect from the world. Just like the eye of a storm, utterly calm in the center while chaos swirls around, you can become that stillness. Life may not always be in your control, but your response is. That's where your power lies. Consider the story of a leader facing crisis. Whispers of failure are spreading. Fear ripples through the team. Yet instead of crumbling, the leader walks into the room, composed and focused. With clear eyes and a steady tone, they realign the group, not just with words, but with presence. That kind of leadership is unforgettable. In the next part, we'll explore how learning to listen deeply, to yourself and to others, can change everything, from your relationships to your sense of purpose. Let's keep going. Finishing strategy 2. nurturing calmness and composure. Imagine a leader stepping into a crisis, rumors swirling, fear running high. Instead of panicking, they calmly share the truth, dispel the confusion, and lay out a solid plan. That quiet poise spreads like a ripple across the room. Fear begins to settle. Hope returns. Confidence is restored. So how can you nurture this kind of composure in your own life? First, embrace the pause. Before you respond, stop. Just breathe. This pause, though brief, creates space. Space to think clearly, evaluate the moment, and choose a response that reflects strength rather than impulse. Second, practice mindfulness. Even a few minutes a day, spent in meditation, breath work, or mindful observation, can ground you. Over time, these quiet rituals create a deep inner anchor that holds firm, even when everything around you shakes. Third, focus on what you can control. You can't change every event, every outcome, or every person, but you can control how you react. This single shift in perspective releases anxiety and brings clarity in moments that once felt overwhelming. Fourth, reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing every challenge as a threat, see it as a test, an opportunity to live your values. When life tests your patience, meet it with composure. When it tests your discipline, meet it with grace. Fifth, always reflect. After each difficult moment, ask, what just happened? How did I respond? What did I learn? This kind of reflection builds emotional muscle and turns experience into wisdom. Remember, Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It's about understanding your emotions, about choosing how to respond with wisdom and restraint. In doing so, you become someone others admire, not for loud declarations, but for your quiet, unwavering presence. Cultivate this inner calm and watch as the world not only respects you, but begins to crave the serenity you embody. Strategy 4. Practice active listening. Now let's shift to something equally powerful, yet often overlooked. Listening. Let me ask you, are you truly a good listener? Picture this. A friend is opening up to you. They're carrying something heavy, something personal. Instead of looking at your phone or rehearsing what to say next, you stay present. You make eye contact. You offer silence. You ask a gentle question, not to solve, but to understand. In that moment, you become more than a friend. You become a safe harbor for their soul. That, right there, is active listening. And it's not just a social skill. It's a Stoic principle, one rooted in humility, compassion, and deep awareness. When you truly listen, you stop centering yourself. You open space for someone else's truth. And through that, you gain a new understanding, not just of them, but of yourself. So how can you cultivate this powerful art? Start with yourself. Before any conversation, check in with your own emotions. Are you truly open to hearing, or are you just waiting to respond? Next, give your full attention. That means more than hearing words. It means noticing tone, body language, even silence. Sometimes what's unsaid reveals the most. Finally, be patient. Let silence breathe. Sometimes, words take time to arrive. And in that stillness, trust deepens. Great Stoic minds like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca spoke often about listening, not just to others, but to oneself. Because when we listen well, we don't just gather information. We absorb life, we connect, we grow. So I'll ask again. Have you ever been a listener who made someone feel truly seen? What did that moment teach you? Share your story in the comments. Let your experience encourage others who are learning to become better listeners too. Strategy 5. Embrace lifelong learning. Now let's talk about growth. Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Such simple wisdom, yet within it lies a profound truth. Life itself is a classroom, and we are always students. To walk the Stoic path is to embrace this mindset fully. Lifelong learning isn't just about knowledge. It's about shaping who you are. It's about constantly refining your character, adjusting your actions, and expanding your understanding of both the world and yourself. Thank you for staying with Live Stoic, Live Strong. It means you're seeking more than words. We're here for that journey with you. When you commit to learning, not just through books, but through experience, you become more adaptable, more patient, more aligned with both nature and society. And in doing so, you naturally earn the respect of others, not because you claim wisdom, but because you live it. And here's something powerful. Learning is not only for you, it's also a noble responsibility. A gift you pass on. Each time you share a lesson, a story, a breakthrough, you don't just teach, you affirm your worth. You light the way for someone else. Teaching, in its highest form, is an act of love. But lifelong learning is also humbling. It requires courage to face your blind spots, grace to accept failure, and the desire to evolve. True learners don't chase perfection. They chase progress. They turn every mistake into fuel, every setback into a stepping stone. And over time, they become beacons. Not because they shouted for attention, but because they lived with intention. So here's the truth. Becoming valuable in the eyes of others doesn't come from power or titles. It comes from a soul that never stops growing and a heart that never stops giving. Take this to heart. Let your learning journey be seen. And in doing so, watch how others begin to see you as a guide, a light, a voice they can trust. We're now halfway through this journey, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying with us. But don't stop here. The next strategy may just change the way you carry yourself for the rest of your life. Let's continue together. Strategy 6. Embrace authenticity. Authenticity is not just a trait. It is a foundation, the ground upon which every deep, meaningful relationship is built. Without it, connection is shallow. With it, even silence speaks volumes. Did you know that honesty is one of the most powerful assets you can ever possess? As Epictetus wisely said, "If you wish to be a writer, write." In other words, live your truth. Do what reflects who you really are, not what's expected, not what's popular, but what is true. Authenticity is not merely a strategy for success. It is a way of life, a guiding force that helps us respect ourselves and, in turn, earn the genuine admiration of others. Let me tell you a story. Patrick, a freelance graphic designer, once chased trends. In the early stages of his career, he felt pressured to create what the market demanded, not what spoke to his soul. The result? His portfolio looked successful, but he felt numb inside, drained, disconnected from his own spark. One day, something shifted. Patrick made a bold decision to stop creating for others and start designing for himself. He leaned into his own style, followed his creative instincts, and poured his truth into every project. At first, he feared rejection, that no one would understand, or worse, care. But the opposite happened. His work began attracting attention. People felt something when they saw his designs. Freshness, honesty, originality. Fellow designers praised him. Clients respected him more. His passion reignited. Why? Because authenticity has power. When you live true to yourself, you don't just stand out, you become magnetic. You draw in the right people, those who respect your truth and feel inspired by it. Authenticity reveals your true essence. It allows others to connect with you, not just your mask. And in a world filled with filters, edits, and superficial performances, realness is rare. It's irresistible. In fact, being authentic makes you irreplaceable. It invites respect not only for who you are, but for everyone who dares to be themselves. You create an environment where honesty thrives, and people feel safe to show up fully, without fear. And here's something deeper. Each of us holds a part of ourselves we rarely share, a secret space within. That guarded truth, that silent authenticity, creates mystery. And mystery is powerful. Strategy 7. Maintain a sense of mystery. There's a quiet strength in not revealing everything. When you meet someone new, isn't it often their mystery that draws you in? The way they speak with depth, but not with full disclosure? That gentle distance that makes you want to understand them more? That feeling isn't coincidence, it's human nature. Curiosity is a force, and mystery feeds it. Stoic philosophy teaches us to value our inner world. Not everything must be shared. Sometimes, the most powerful presence is one that invites wonder. Think of yourself as a living story. An open book, yes, but not all at once. Each page turned with time. Each chapter revealing a lesson, a layer, a truth. When you live this way, people are drawn in. Every conversation becomes an adventure. Every silence speaks of something deeper. You don't have to be loud to be captivating. You just have to be real and a little unread. A well-kept mystery is not deception. It's dignity. It's the decision to protect your depth, to share yourself with intention. And when done right, it enhances your value in the eyes of others. You become not just a presence, but an experience. Not just a speaker, but a storyteller. Not just someone to know, but someone worth discovering. So ask yourself, what part of you is waiting to be revealed, slowly, meaningfully? What chapters of your story have yet to be shared? In the next section, we'll explore a powerful practice that builds on mystery and authenticity, and that is the art of consistency. Because even the deepest truth means little if it's not lived every day. Let's keep moving forward. Your transformation is unfolding beautifully. True influence begins with sharing meaningfully. Have you ever met someone who, without boasting, left you quietly wondering, what else can I learn from this person? That's not charisma. That's wisdom paired with humility. And it's one of the most powerful forces in human connection. In life, creating appreciation through knowledge isn't about collecting facts or appearing intelligent. It's about sharing what you've learned, living your truths, and letting others benefit from your journey. When you open your heart and pass on life's hard-earned lessons, you invite others into your world. You create bridges. Deep, meaningful relationships are formed not through perfection, but through presence and perspective. Each time you share from experience, you enrich the lives of those around you. And what you receive in return isn't flattery or fleeting applause, it's authentic respect. A kind of admiration that can't be bought or faked. It is earned through consistency, effort, and a commitment to never stop learning. Being someone who contributes value through insight and action makes you magnetic. It makes people seek your presence, not for entertainment, but for inspiration. When others see you as a source of knowledge and experience, you don't have to demand attention. It finds you. It follows you. And here's the beautiful paradox. While mystery draws people in, it's your willingness to share with purpose that makes them stay. So remember, embracing lifelong learning isn't only about personal growth. It's about creating real value for those around you. You become a lighthouse, guiding others not by force, but by example. Now, pause for a moment and reflect. How would maintaining your inner mystery while selectively sharing your knowledge change the way others see you? Would you be willing to try it? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your journey might be the spark someone else needs to begin theirs. Strategy 8. Practice discretion. In a world that constantly urges us to share everything, what if your greatest power was in what you choose not to say? Imagine yourself at a social gathering or scrolling through your online feed. You feel the urge to share a personal achievement, or vent a frustration, or reveal something vulnerable. But then, you pause. In that pause lives discretion. And in discretion lives strength. We live in a time when social media celebrates oversharing. Every detail of our lives, our wins, our heartbreaks, our breakfast, is on display. But there is profound value in choosing what to share, when to share, and with whom. Discretion isn't secrecy. It's self-respect. It's the ability to safeguard your emotional and mental space from unnecessary exposure. Let me share a story. A friend of mine, a highly successful entrepreneur, once stood at a critical crossroads. He was preparing to launch a groundbreaking project in a fiercely competitive market. The pressure to announce it early, to build hype, was intense. But then he remembered a piece of Stoic wisdom from Seneca. The wise man lacks nothing, but needs many things. The fool needs nothing, for he knows not how to use anything, yet lacks everything. Inspired by this, he made a bold choice. He didn't post about it, didn't announce it in public. Instead, he quietly discussed the project with a select group of trusted partners and kept the rest under wraps. The result? His project launched with full momentum and zero interference. No one had time to copy or compete. That simple act of restraint created a powerful advantage, and it solidified his reputation as a leader who knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Practicing discretion isn't just about privacy. It's a strategic mindset. Each time you're tempted to overshare, ask yourself, does this serve my long-term vision? Will this build trust or erode it? Does this reveal strength or create unnecessary vulnerability? If you're unsure, maybe it's time to hold it close, because what you withhold often says more than what you reveal. Discretion is not suppression, it's discernment. Through it, we protect ourselves from unnecessary risks. We shape a personal image of depth, control, and thoughtfulness. And in doing so, we naturally invite curiosity, trust, and admiration. In the next part, we'll explore a trait that ties everything together. A force that magnifies authenticity, mystery, learning, and restraint. And that is the quiet but unstoppable power of consistency. Let's keep going. You're becoming someone others will never forget. After learning the power of discretion, of knowing what to share and when, you've taken one more step toward becoming a person of depth and dignity. But in order to build real connection, there's another layer to explore, and it's one many people struggle with: the art of receiving. Strategy 9. Embrace the art of receiving. We often talk about giving, about service, generosity, and support. But what about receiving? What about allowing yourself to accept a gift, a compliment, a helping hand with grace? Many people mistake receiving for weakness. But in reality, the ability to receive with humility and openness is one of the strongest acts of self-respect you can practice. It tells the world, I see your offering and I value it. I value you. This exchange, this balance between giving and receiving, isn't just social etiquette. It's a powerful force that can deeply enrich both our spiritual and communal lives. In Stoic philosophy, the art of acceptance rests on 5 timeless principles. 1. Acknowledging interdependence. We are not islands. We are connected to others, to the world, and to something greater than ourselves. When we believe we must do everything alone, we isolate ourselves not just from help, but from meaning. True strength is recognizing that we need one another. 2. Cultivating gratitude. Every time we accept a gift, be it material, emotional, or spiritual, we're given an opportunity to be grateful. Accepting with a full heart nurtures that gratitude, deepening our awareness of the blessings around us. 3. Nurturing humility. To receive is to acknowledge that we do not have all the answers, all the strength, all the control. And that's okay. Acceptance teaches us humility, a grounded, peaceful recognition of our humanity. 4. Enhancing community. When we open ourselves to being helped, we create a safe space for others to do the same. Vulnerability builds connection. It strengthens trust. It reminds us that we don't have to pretend to be perfect to be respected. 5. Encouraging generosity. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you receive gracefully, you inspire others to give more freely. You open the doors for a culture of generosity to grow. One where giving and receiving form a sacred, balanced rhythm. So how do you begin? You start small. Say thank you, without deflection, the next time someone offers a compliment. Ask for help when you need it, not with guilt, but with the understanding that your openness deepens relationships. Receive feedback, not as an attack, but as a mirror for growth. Publicly express appreciation for kindnesses, no matter how small. These small acts carry immense weight. They strengthen your character. They elevate your relationships. And they contribute to a more connected, compassionate world. Embracing the art of receiving doesn't make you vulnerable to weakness. It makes you open to grace. It's a quiet, unshakable confidence. A sign of someone who knows who they are and understands the beauty of shared humanity and divinity. If this resonates with you, leave a comment. I'm practicing the art of acceptance. Let your voice inspire others to open their hearts too. But let me ask you something. In life's hardest moments, when you fall, when you're tested, when everything seems to push against you, what keeps you going? Where does real strength come from? Join me now as we enter the final lesson, a powerful reminder drawn from Stoic wisdom of how to build true inner strength, not by avoiding the storm, but by learning how to endure it. In learning to receive with grace, you opened your heart to connection. Now we arrive at the final and perhaps most profound step on this journey, the power that keeps us moving through everything life throws our way. Resilience. Strategy 10. Foster resilience and endurance. When people look at you, do they see someone who bends under pressure or someone who stands steady and unshaken? The world admires strength, not the kind that dominates, but the kind that endures, the kind that remains standing when everything else is falling apart, the kind that doesn't deny struggle but faces it, day after day, with quiet determination. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is forged through fire, through failure, through discomfort. It is built in the silent moments when no one is watching, and you choose to rise anyway. The Stoics taught us that hardship is not something to be feared. it is to be embraced. Challenges are not insurmountable walls, but teachers in disguise. Each difficulty is a chance, not just to survive, but to grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded. In Stoic practice, there are powerful exercises for developing this strength. Voluntary hardship, choosing discomfort, even when comfort is available, teaches you that you can withstand more than you think. Reflection on adversity, looking back not with bitterness but with insight, builds perspective, maturity, and unshakable calm. When you share your own stories of resilience, your quiet battles, your long nights, your courageous choices, you do more than speak. You inspire. You become a beacon, a living reminder that the human spirit is capable of rising again and again. People will be drawn to you, not because you have all the answers, but because you carry something rare, a sense of peace in chaos, a light in dark times, a mountain in the storm. Stoicism gives us this gift, a mindset that doesn't avoid pain, but transforms it. With this shift in perspective, what once felt like an unbearable burden begins to look like a stepping stone. Life's trials become life's teachers. Setbacks become new paths. Others will start to seek your presence, not only for the strength you radiate, but for the vision you offer. A vision where adversity is not a dead end, but a new beginning. Closing reflection. As we conclude today's powerful journey, let us pause and take a deep breath. Together, we've walked through 10 timeless strategies from Stoic philosophy. Tools not just to reshape how others see you, but to transform how you see yourself. Because in the end, the deepest power doesn't come from how loudly we speak, but from how fully we live. We believe your journey is unique, filled with your own battles, revelations, and triumphs. How has this message resonated with your path? Which strategy spoke to your soul? Leave us a comment and share your reflection. It might be the insight that lifts someone else. And if this video touched you, helped you, or gave you a new perspective, show your support. Like, share, and subscribe to let us know you're walking this path with us. It means more than you know. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a future lesson. This is just one piece of the journey. There's so much more to explore, deeper teachings, practical insights, and more stories that will guide your transformation. Keep watching the recommended videos that appear next. They're handpicked to continue your growth. Thank you for spending this time with us. Keep moving forward, keep striving, and most importantly, keep shining. We're honored to walk beside you, step by step, lesson by lesson, breath by breath. Thank you for your time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time. It may reach deeper. Share this with someone who needs a quiet moment. See you in the next video.